Flyperbole, flip, flyperbole. Flyperbole, flip, flyperbole. Flyperbole, flip, flyperbole.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How we doing? We are back. Steve Jaco, Ryan Quigley, talking some flipe, talking about your perpetually going to overtime Philadelphia Flyers, driving me nuts. Just win a game, lose a game in regulation. Do something in regulation. Don't go to overtime all the time. But
when's the last time they had a normal regulation win?
I believe it was 2019.
I mean, that sounds right, but I just want to confirm that that's what's going on. Let's see, because I'm looking at the schedule right now and pulling it up, and I think it was like a week ago that they had a regulate. I think it was the Predators game.
Been a while. And
it's been a moment.
That Predators game was actually, that one was pretty normal. So yeah, the last two games went to overtime. The Montreal game went to overtime. So
3 of the last 4 are overtime.
Yeah. And they're on pace for, I think, like 30 plus overtime games or something. Pittsburgh overtime, Islanders overtime. Let's see, any other good ones? Carolina overtime, Carolina. Jersey overtime.
Minnesota. Did you say Minnesota already?
I think I missed Minnesota in the bunch.
Yeah.
So was Minnesota overtime?
That was overtime, yeah, because Noah Cates got the game-winning goal.
That's not listed as overtime. So
moral of the story here. Moral of the story. Way too much overtime going on.
Way too much overtime. We don't need this. We don't need this for a team that at best might lose in the first round of the playoffs. We don't need all this. Come on. No. What are we doing here?
It's pretty ridiculous.
What are we doing? It is ridiculous. Almost as ridiculous as the fact that we're going to open up this show talking about the most important Flyer who might not, I don't even know if he has a point yet. I don't think he has a point on the season yet at this point. Let's see. I'm looking up his stats right now, and
he does not.
No, our good friend does not have any points on the season. And I want to start this episode by talking about Garnet Hathaway. And it's funny because I had already looked up some Hathaway factoids that I wanted to start talking about on this show before all this even came up. And then there was a great graphic that NBC Sports Philadelphia threw out the other day with a bunch of team nicknames. And we've heard a few of these. Rick Tocchet is called Taco on there, which is hilarious. You of course think about the delicious Mexican food, but some people might also think of the show The League, who had a character named Taco. So that could be a thing that comes into play. We've heard about Matvei Michkov being called Mike, which at one point I thought was because that's what Matvei meant in Russian. That's apparently not. They just call him Mike. Good. It's good. Last week, we talked about how Trevor Zegras is Ziggy, which makes sense with the Zegras. I get Ziggy, so he's getting Ziggy with it. Jamie Drysdale apparently is called Jim.
That one's lame. I don't like that one at all. It's not hard. I can see what they're doing, but it's not. I don't approve of that one at all.
Big thumbs down on Jim. Call him Jam.
Yeah, Jam's really good.
Jammy Drysdale, just Jam. Jam over there. Come on.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
When I think of Jim, I just think of the main character from American Pie. It's just
or The Office.
Yeah, no, we don't need that. So Jam would be much better.
Yeah, Jam would be way better than Jim. I do like Noah Cates. They call him Capes because he's a little superhero there. Capes.
Okay. Yeah, I can deal with that.
Big time thumbs down on Tyson Forrester. They call him Forey.
That's horrible.
That's
so bad. That is we need to come up with new names for these people.
Why don't you call them trees?
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say something along the lines of why don't we it's something about a forest. You could call him something, literally anything else. Call him
call him Groot. Groot's a famous tree. Come on,
yeah,
there's plenty of trees out there.
Yeah, call him.
He is Groot.
Yeah, call him Woodchuck.
I'm a Woodchuck. That's way too complicated for them.
Woodchuck.
I like trees. I think the best for him. And then all these nicknames, you got Taco, Mike, Ziggy, Jim, Capes, Forey. And then
The
Garnet
granddaddy.
Hathaway comes up.
Yeah.
And Garnet Hathaway, his nickname is listed as Gart Angry.
Which I've never heard that in my entire life.
I don't understand what it means at all. Gart Angry. I don't know what it means.
So for that game, I was up in the press box and I was sitting next to Charlie O'Connor and Siobhan Nolan.
That's some good company right there.
It was good company.
Yeah.
And so we like that came up and we were all just like, what the fuck? Like, where has anyone heard Gart Angry before? And everyone's like, no one.
Gart Angry.
That does not exist. That must strictly be a thing that is like a top secret thing that they say in the locker room that only Jim Jackson would know. Because Jim Jackson's like, he's in that locker room all the time.
Yeah.
He may as well be a player.
I mean, I would give JJ my social security number if he asked for it.
Yeah.
That's how much I trust that man.
Gart Angry is such a bad. It's so
I
bad
love
that
it.
it's actually hilarious.
I love it. It makes me think of, you want to talk about so bad it's hilarious. It makes me think of the Nick Cage Amber Heard movie Drive Angry, which is Nick Cage versus a bunch of satanic cultists. And he's got a sawed off shotgun and like a leather jacket. Movie friggin' rocks. It's real stupid, just like Gart Angry. So Gart Angry and Drive Angry are on like the same plane right here. I love Gart Angry. Big fan of Gart Angry. And this already comes on the fact that we already, on this show, we call Garnet Hathaway Gary because Garnet's such a weird first name.
Right. Yeah. But
and so for some reason, because Hathaway's one of those guys, he is going to be in the lineup every night, despite the fact that he has 0 points. He has not done anything hockey-wise out there this year. And he's still like beloved. Like nobody's got a problem with Gart Angry over there. And he's got a beer out, which I still have yet to try, but I'm sure I'll love. And he just seems like a chill dude, right? Like we love Garnet Hathaway over here, even though his name is Garnet. And for some reason, I looked up his Wikipedia last week and I was looking at it. And the first thing that stuck out to me is his real first name isn't Garnet.
what is it, Steve? So all this time we've been lied to?
We've been lied to. It's his middle name. His first name's John.
Oh. John is better than Garnet.
John Garnet Hathaway.
John Hathaway. John Hathaway sounds like he's a fucking sailor.
That sounds like a novelist.
It does.
That's because it sounds like Ernest Hemingway, a man who sailed and wrote novels.
Yeah, that's a sick name. What the fuck? I need to. Wow, I did not know that. I need to fucking. If I ever speak to that man for the rest of my life, I just need to be like, listen, Garnet. Let me ask you something. Why are you doing this? You know what? I think there could be reasons, but I don't know. Is he a junior? Is John his dad's name?
No, it's Wikipedia. He's literally just listed as John Garnet Hathaway.
Okay, I was gonna say. So the reason I asked is because like there are some people who like they're a junior, they're named after their dad, but their dad's like a piece of shit, and they're just like, yeah, I don't want to be associated with that man, so I go by my middle name. And so I was gonna say, hey, maybe that's what happened with John with John Garnet Hathaway, but apparently apparently that's not he's not a junior, so apparently he just likes Garnet better.
Apparently he just likes Garnet better, which is a name I've never heard. I also assumed, because his name is Garnet, right, that he was Canadian and he plays hockey. Like this all just screamed Canadian to me. This is actually how the Wikipedia journey got started, because somebody in the BSH Slack had posted a picture with him and some of the other boys. And I think they said something about replacing him on Mount Rushmore. All these guys should make Team USA or something like that. And I'm like, Team USA? Garnet Hathaway would make Team USA? Like, how does that work? And well, I didn't even know he was American. And not only is he American, this motherfucker was born in Florida.
Now that's true, but he's definitely a Mainer through and through.
Yeah. So he was born in Florida, moved up to Kennebunkport, Maine with
Naples,
his family.
Florida is where he's from.
Yeah, he's a worldly man. He spent 3 months traveling around the world, and his older brother's name is Ephraim. And here was my favorite part. Okay. Growing up, Hathaway and his older brother Ephraim were, I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't really give a shit.
I have no idea. Yeah. I'm looking at that.
were fans of the Washington Capitals of the National Hockey League, as their uncle, Greg Shove, had once worked with Capitals owner Ted Leonosis. Greg Shove is the name of their uncle?
It's all making sense because Garnet Hathaway likes to shove some dudes around, so maybe there's I don't know, but I'm just out of curiosity. So I went ahead and Googled Ephraim, if that's this man's name, Hathaway, and all I'm seeing, the only thing that really came up is a LinkedIn page. And now I don't know. I'm looking at his profile right now, which, by the way, for those who have LinkedIn, someone can see if you're looking at their profile. So
there is a setting to turn that off, though, my friend.
Is there? Okay. You know what? I think I actually did that. Yeah, I don't think people can see. So
yeah,
I'm looking at this
that. I'm looking at this man's
profile. He is a third-year medical student. He went to Harvard University. Stove, didn't Garnet Hathaway go to Harvard University?
Did he? I'm on his wiki right now, so I guess I could find out. But
I'm rather certain that he did at some point play hockey for.
He went to
Harvard University.
Brown.
I knew it was one of those smart people schools. Now let's learn more about this Ephraim fellow, shall we? So let's see. I'm really diving in. I'm looking at
right now.
It's going to be great. Well, the funny thing is, we don't even know that this is his brother. This is just some guy named Ephraim Hathaway. We don't know who this guy is. So this guy is a teaching fellow, part-time, or he was, I should say, at Harvard University. Now this man is a research assistant at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai in New York.
Mount Sinai. Sinai.
Is it Sinai?
I thought so.
I thought it was Sinai. I can't tell you, but this man
this is just great pronunciations all around.
Cardiovascular Research Institute, Diabetes, Obesity, and Metabolism Institute. Okay.
Well, it's a family of geniuses right there. It's a family of geniuses, but I would like to rewind and talk about Greg Shove for a minute, because what an incredible name Greg Shove is. Like, Greg Shove, he just sounds like a guy who can fix things, right? Like, I'm going to call Greg Shove, and Greg Shove is going to get to the bottom of this. Just a kind of like almost seedy, perfect, like 2-syllable name right there. Greg Shove. I guess Shove might be two syllables of itself. So it's like a 3-syllable name right there. But Greg Shove, I just friggin' love that name. So Garnet Hathaway, Gart Angry, real first name John, Ephraim brother, Greg Shove uncle. What a legend this man is. Garnet Hathaway, truly the real MVP of this team with 0 points.
Well, I'm a little sad that Greg Shove didn't play for the Flyers in like the 80s.
Greg Shove sounds like he should have played for the Flyers in the 80s.
That is an 80s Flyers name. Absolutely it is. So
Greg Shove was standing up for Tim Kerr in a 1985 game against the New York Rangers. It just sounds perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Greg Shove and Dave Brown just trashing guys out on the ice.
That would have been incredible. Like, it's just such a perfect name for it. And it also, you know what? It also sounds like the name of a present day Flyers prospect as well, because you got Alex Bump and Bonk. Might as well get Shove in there, like a 1-syllable name. So, Steve, we have a breakthrough. Okay. So we're back to Ephraim now. Okay. So,
oh my God.
I'm
obsessed with Greg Shove. You're obsessed with the brother.
Well, I dove a little bit deeper. I tried to find any, elite prospects page that does not exist that I could find, but I did find, I'm back on Ephraim Hathaway's LinkedIn page now. I did find that from September 2014 to March 2015, so that's 7 months for people who need math. He was a volunteer assistant coach for D3 club hockey team at Carnegie Mellon Ice Hockey. And then, here we go. He was a statistician intern for U.S. Hockey Report.
Oh, well, there you go.
So this might very well be This Ephraim Hathaway character may very well be the Ephraim Hathaway that is related directly to Garnet Hathaway, i.e. John Hathaway.
You know what Garnet Hathaway's LinkedIn says? Hockey.
Hockey. Did you find it?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna look it up. Let's see if I can find it. Garnet Hathaway.
What would there be to say?
LinkedIn.
Played hockey.
Professional. So I found a Garnet Hathaway, but I didn't I didn't find a Garnet Hathaway. I just found a Garnet Hathaway.
Wait. What do you mean by a Garnet? What is that? How is that spelled?
So Garnet is Garnet Hathaway, and then Garnet Hathaway is Garnet Hathaway.
Like 2 T's?
2 T's and an E.
Garnet,
Garnet Hathaway is missing a T and an E. Garnet Hathaway has an extra T and an extra E after the extra T.
Oh, I see. It's at the I see. Okay, that's why I was asking you for spelling right there. There you go. There you go.
Yeah. It's kind of like how
our Gary Hats, our beloved Gary Hats. It's just hockey player. Okay, that's the whole resume right there.
It's kind of like how in Shoresy, Hitch will be like, he'll say boys and he'll also say buys, like that. It's just like, wait, he'll be like, all right, boys, let's go. And then it's just like, I'm not talking to the boys, I'm talking to the buys. So that's kind of what we're talking about here. This is a very Flype start to the show, Steve.
It is indeed. It is indeed. But I wanted to I needed to talk about just the legend of Garnet Hathaway right there.
Gart
and talk
Angry.
about, he's the heart of the team right there. Come on. Gart Angry is 100% the heart of the team right there, as is Nic Deslauriers, who keeps getting into the lineup despite being, I don't know, barely a hockey player.
And also famously, much like John Hathaway, also has 0 points on the season.
Also has 0 points on the season. 7 games played now, 0 points. He's going to play again, though. We're recording this on Friday. He's going to be playing tonight. And can I give a quick shout out to our sponsor at FanDuel before we get into talking about how D'Lo keeps playing out there every night? It's not every night, but it feels like entirely too much Nic Deslauriers for basically what Nic Deslauriers brings to the table. But 7:34 minutes an ice, or 7 minutes and 34 seconds a night on the ice for Nic Deslauriers when he's in there, and it's
a waste of a roster spot. Honestly, it really.
You got a free Grabenkin. I don't know what Grebby did. We got a free Grabenkin.
Now I'll say this, Steve. I typically am not a fan of Nic Deslauriers being in the lineup, because it is a wasted roster spot. Like, truly, he's not going to do anything. He's a black hole offensively. However, I immediately rescind that notion as soon as he drops the gloves. And I remember when the Flyers played Montreal, that was electric when he dropped the gloves with Arbor Jack Eye and kind of TKO'd him. It was incredible. And I don't regret him being in the lineup that night. I thought that was awesome. That was worth it. That was worth the price of admission. But that said, if he's not going to fight, don't be in the lineup. Only put him in the lineup if you feel like he has to fight somebody. It's
really good that all these other guys get to be exhausted because Nic Deslauriers got to go out there for 7 minutes and fight.
It's not great. It's actually
I'm giving Rick Tocchet a lot of leeway on a lot of stuff right now. This is one thing I'm furious about. Like, I do not like seeing Nic Deslauriers out there. He is so slow. And again, I'm very aware that this is a man who could skate circles around me. I know he can dance circles around me, as we saw from that little nightclub video. And
he could beat you up.
I know he could beat me up. He could beat me up with his pinky. He could just flick me across the bar like I'm Ant-Man, and I'm just going to be on the other side of the world. But all that said, the man is cooked. He could not, on his best day, he was not a great NHL player. He's 100% cooked out there.
He was, so I was actually curious earlier, Steve, and I looked up Nic Deslauriers' stats. And, he was never a very good player, but there was a time where he scored 10 goals in one season.
Wow.
He didn't even play 82 games. He played 58 games. He scored 10 goals.
That's a hot streak right there.
Could you imagine Nic Deslauriers scoring like more than one goal in a season, let alone 10.
No.
Apparently he scored 2 goals last season. I remember neither of them.
Gun to my head, absolutely no clue what happened on either of them. But Nic Deslauriers in his Flyers career now. So Nic Deslauriers has been with the Flyers since 2022-23. He has 9 goals in that time. 6 of those goals came in 2022-23.
So over the last 2+ seasons, he has 3 goals.
Yeah.
Which is bad, famously.
It's famously bad. I actually can't believe he had 6 goals in 2022-23. Don't remember that at all. Not one bit. That man played a lot that year. 80 games played. He was getting 10.06 a night. Wow. And 136 penalty minutes. So quite a big year for Nicky Deslauriers.
Career high in penalty minutes that year. I do remember he was fighting a lot that year. That was.
I mean, he'd have to be if he played 80 games.
Yeah. So
the man can fight. The man can brawl all day.
Oh,
he
yeah.
Just cannot play hockey. And it's, again, I know nothing really matters for this Flyers season, but this team has got some exciting stuff to it. Trevor Zegras has had some great stuff leading the team in points. Matvei Michkov starting to heat up at last, which we're going to talk about very soon. And by the way, on the Matvei Michkov front, if you're going to be using a little bet this weekend, go on over to FanDuel. And I would bet on Matvei Michkov continuing the hot streak. If we're looking right now, you'll probably be hearing this after the Blues game. But for the Blues game, Michkov's a plus 300 to score a goal. I like that a lot. If you're just putting down, let's put down like $3, right? You can win $9 on a Matvei Michkov goal. He's got a 3-game goal streak heading into this game. He is red hot, folks. Ride that Michkov hand. Absolutely ride it.
Also, keep in mind, you know who's going to be starting in net tonight for the Blues? Jordan Binnington.
He's hot garbage.
Cannot stop a puck.
No.
So
until he gets to Team Canada in the Olympics and he turns into a superstar.
Then he becomes the best goalie of all time. It's unbelievable. Yeah. But keep that in mind when you're placing your wagers tonight.
Yeah, Binnington. You want to talk cooked guys? Jordan Binnington is right there. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's driving me nuts seeing him in there, and I want Grabenkin back in.
Yes.
I know Grabenkin's not like a world changer or anything, but he's a young guy with some good potential to be a bottom 6 guy on this team. He can lay a hit. He can fight. I think the biggest thing is, though, you can plug him into other lines and he can be useful. He can have useful streaks and he can actually be a good player out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we've seen him be so good along the wall too. I think that's a really, really great advantage that, he kind of brings to the table when he's out there. I would much rather see Grabenkin playing on the 4th line, really anywhere. There's so much more about Grabenkin that I want to learn about. I want to learn more about, I just want to see him play more because it's exciting. I'm not saying that he's going to be some sort of middle 6 scoring winger. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I think there's a lot of uncharted waters there. And I want to see that. And it's just, we know exactly what Nic Deslauriers is. We don't know exactly what Nikita Grabenkin could be. That's kind of what annoys me. I would rather see the young guy who has shown clear flashes of potential as opposed to this older guy who, let's face it, this might very well be his last hurrah this season. Why would a team sign him after this? Because his contract runs out this season. It doesn't really make sense to dress him, really, unless you expect him to fight. There's no reason to do it. And
I'd put him right in the Flyers broadcast booth, to be honest. Just have him replace Hartnell.
I would love for him to be around the team. Honestly, you want to talk about a player who I would love for to just stay within the Flyers organization. I think Deslauriers would be awesome as just some sort of development guy, something like that. I have no idea, but I think that'd be awesome. He strikes me as a perfect, who he reminds, he's kind of like Chris Stewart, and Chris Stewart, kind of the same deal. Wore the number 44, sucked at hockey, great at fighting.
Signed to the Flyers by Chuck Fletcher.
That's right. And then now he's working for the team. And I think it would be cool to, for Deslauriers to kind of do the same thing, because he is a very well-liked guy in that locker room. There's no question about that. But there's also no denying that he's just not good. So keep the vibes, get rid of the player is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's talk about vibes then. Let's talk about vibes, because there was a story that we haven't gotten to discuss yet. I know the rest of the Flyers blogosphere has kind of talked this to death, but I wanted to get our 2 cents in on this, and that's the Matvei Michkov, Sean Couturier kerfluffle, or whatever the hell you call it. But yeah, there was a little bit of controversy earlier this week. Sean Couturier had a locker room interview, right, with the press, where he just, mentioned that while Michkov's a great scorer and has a lot of skill, you got to find ways to contribute to helping the team in other ways when you're struggling. And it kind of not really that big a deal of a statement, at least to people who aren't overreactionary. Yeah. And I looked at that and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's pretty boilerplate. The only thing that's like weird is that he's saying that when he's actually scoring, but like overall, like he's the captain. That's absolutely his opinion to have. And it's also stuff that Rick Tocchet has said. Rick Tocchet has come out and said that, Michkov, like when he's not playing well, he's hurting the team actively. I want him to do other little things if he's not going to be scoring. And thankfully, we're now seeing him score. He's got a 3-goal streak. Hopefully that continues tonight against the Blues and through the weekend. And you love to see it. You're seeing the confidence come back. You see the goal that he had in, I think it was the Montreal game, right, Quigs, where he just powered his way to that goal. And it was just a sight to see.
That was against Ottawa, because
you're right.
Yeah,
I mixed up my Canadian.
Jake Sanderson. Yeah.
That Ottawa goal was the first time this season where I feel like I saw last year's Matvei Michkov come out and assert himself, because that was single-handedly his goal. He was brushing off defenders. He powered his way to the net, and he had a great shot. That's the first time I saw last year's Michkov really come out this year. And it's awesome to see. It looks like he's got that confidence back. It looks like he has that swagger. But Couturier's right. I mean, we saw nights where Michkov was so bad that I saw people freaking out on the socials going like, is Michkov, just the new Flyers bust, blah, blah, blah. And it was clear that he was in his head and struggling. And this is a guy who's never been known for his defense in the first place. But we could also see that Rick Tocchet was doling out ice time based on this stuff from Michkov. Like, this is all Rick Tocchet has said this stuff, and Rick Tocchet's been doing that stuff. So I think Couturier had a little bit of frustration. I think especially Michkov came out and admitted that he took like 4 months off in the off season, which we're all like, are you serious? Are you crazy? And
not great.
If you're the captain of a team that's trying to compete, that's trying to not be another bottom 4 Flyers team, that's the last thing you want to hear in that situation. You're hearing him admit that. So I totally get where Couturier was coming from here.
Yeah. And like, listen, we are starting to see a new version of Michkov. And if you would like to read more about this new version of Michkov, then you could read my story that I wrote for BroadStreetHockey.com. That would be great. That was just published on Friday. Wow. However, to dive in a little bit deeper, Steve, so Michkov really it's been kind of a tale of 2 months for Michkov. So October Michkov was not good. And I think we can all agree on that. He was like actively a liability. Like he was turning the puck over. He was just yeeting the puck into random spots of the ice, it seemed sometimes. He was not moving well, which, I mean, that could, be partially due to that rumored ankle injury that he had in the offseason. He wasn't skating well. I know when people were flipping out about him not being out on the ice in overtime, Tocchet straight up said, like, yeah, I need guys who have legs. And he was right. Michkov didn't have legs at that time. Now we're starting to see him moving around a lot quicker. He's skating faster. He looks a lot more confident. And he just looks like a totally different player. And I don't want to give away everything from this story, but you look at the numbers and that backs up the eye test too, because I think we can all agree over the last, 2 weeks, Michkov has looked considerably better than he did the first, few weeks. And looking at his numbers in October, he had, and we're getting into the nerd stats here, but he had an expected goals for percentage in his first 10 games of the year, all of them in October. His expected goals for percentage was 50.31, which is fine. Like it's just barely slightly above breaking even. So like, okay. Steve, in November, that has increased to 58.35 expected goals for percentage. So that's very, very good. That's a huge boost. And then to further that, I think we could all agree that the first 10 games of the season, again, all of those in October, Michkov was not driving play at all. It seemed like offense was kind of going to die on Michkov's stick at times to start the year. And again, that comes down to he did not have his legs and he did not have confidence, and he just looked like a shell of himself at the time. His Corsi for percentage at 5-on-5 in those first 10 games of the regular season, 46.46. Since then, since November 1st, that number is 60.16 since November 1st. He's just looks like the numbers are backing it up. He looks better. He's performing better. The number, like his stats, we're starting to see like he's scoring goals. That's happening now. And now, like we just mentioned, that play that he made against the Senators, against Jake Sanderson, he created that play totally by himself. He created that room by kind of like getting physical with Jake Sanderson, giving himself just that little bit of extra space to turn the corner, find an open soft area, and then just sling in the puck past whoever the hell the goalie was.
Ullmark, I believe.
Linus Ullmark. So, it seems like we're seeing more of that now. And then it seems like Rick Tocchet is a lot more impressed with him after his latest goal. I mean, he was the only player to score a goal against Edmonton had it not been for Owen Tippett. But but he scored the only goal for the Flyers that night. Official goal. And it was a great goal. He scored it on the power play. And after the game, Tocchet basically said, like, yeah, he works on that downhill shot a lot. He shoots a million pucks, and it was a great shot. He put it in a perfect spot. He works on that every day. Got to give him credit. Hell of a goal. Like, it's just, it seems like he is starting to kind of break through here. And I don't think it's a surprise that against Edmonton, he saw his highest time on ice total in almost a month. So, he looks like a new player now, and it's good to see.
It's really good to see. I mean, it was such a bummer watching other guys on the team really excel when he wasn't doing it. I mean, seeing what Trevor Zegras could do out there. You know, Trevor Zegras had a great start to the season. Owen Tippett had a great start to the season, and now Owen Tippett, not so much. We're kind of seeing, you know, the last couple of years, frustrating version of Owen Tippett come back around, the snake bitten guy, the guy who can't really finish. But for the first stretch of the season, Owen Tippett was dominant. He was playing the best hockey maybe of his entire career. And seeing, you know, him do that without Michkov, seeing Forrester play like he did without Michkov, and Brink, you know, you were just seeing like kind of an incomplete product, and it sucked. And now you're kind of seeing it the opposite, where you're seeing Michkov really assert himself again, but the rest of the team is not really producing offensively. And that's, I think, your biggest problem with Rick Tocchet's Flyers through about 16 games now, is the offensive numbers just suck.
Awful.
I mean, they are the second worst team in the league as far as goals for go. They have 44. The worst is Calgary with 40. And obviously the defense and the goaltending has been a plus. The Flyers actually have the least amount of goals allowed in the league with 41, second to Washington and Chicago with 45. So they're playing really well defensively. The system that Tocchet has implemented is absolutely working. Dan Vladar has been fantastic. Ersson has been solid when he's been in. Even Kolosov was pretty solid when he had his cup of coffee up here. But they got to score more, especially if this is a team that expects to win. And it's just, man, it's kind of a bummer watching all these like 2-1, 3-2 games. I'd like to see some get one in regulation. I'd like to see them just score some more damn goals. So if you can get Michkov clicking with these other guys at the same time, I think you could have some really fun hockey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. And like, you know, they are, the fact that I think right now, technically they're still in a playoff spot. I know it's November. We shouldn't even be talking about playoffs right now. Okay, never mind. They are no longer in a playoff spot. They are 1 point out of a wild card spot right now, Steve. But the fact that they've been kind of in that pack is encouraging because, exactly like you just said, they're not scoring. They're not scoring anything. And that's concerning when, Michkov hasn't been going. We're starting to see Konechny get going. And obviously with Michkov, he's starting to get going now. But like you want to see more goals. Like at some point, who knows? Maybe it'll be against the Blues and Jordan Binnington. Maybe tonight's the night that they put up like 7 goals. Like they score a touchdown and an extra point. And then it's just like, all right, we like give everybody a little bit of a confidence boost. And then the next few games, they score like 3, 4, or 5 goals in each of those games. So like, maybe that's how it's going to go. But right now it's definitely discouraging that they're not scoring, but at least it's not absolutely killing them in a standings perspective.
Right. Because if this team last year is not scoring, they're probably the worst team in the league because they just could not stop a beach ball last year. Mm-hmm. Just horrible to watch. Right now, I'm looking at the points, and, Michkov, by scoring in 3 straight, now he has 4 goals. He finds himself in a tie for second on the team. He very easily, by Thanksgiving, could be the clear-cut team leader in goals, which is wild when you think about how much, grousing about Michkov we've done. Zegras is still leading the pack, though, with 16 points in 16 games, still at a point-per-game streak. I will say I'm not noticing... While I'm still seeing a lot of the amazing puck handling out of him, I'm maybe not seeing as much of the assertiveness I saw out of him in the first dozen games or so. It just kind of feels like a lot of the offensive stuff is kind of toned down a little bit, even more so in the past couple games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's not to say that it won't come back. Sometimes you just have a couple down games. But yeah, I think because the stick, every time he's on the ice and he has the puck on his stick, I notice, I feel like he makes good plays with it. You know what I mean? And so I think eventually that it will snowball into points. It will snowball into statistics.
It feels like he's in Terminator, scanning mode, where to send the puck. He really is one of the best passers I've ever seen in Flyers history already.
He's very good. We've seen it. The no-look passes I still think about that backhanded pass to Couturier. Be still my heart, Steve. That was so good.
Man, that's one of the best passes I've maybe ever seen a Flyer make.
Yeah. And it's exciting. And listen, I know right now he's going through kind of a cold streak, but I think we've seen enough to know that this is who knows how long it'll carry on. I think he'll be fine. I'm not really concerned about Zegras because he's shown that he's a different dog now. Yeah. And that's really good to know.
It is really good to know. And just, if these guys can all just get on the same damn page, I think we could maybe have a utopian little Flyers society right there. And damn, the time does fly by. I think you got to get bouncing in a couple minutes there, my friends. So sorry for kind of abbreviated little flipe here, but we're going to try to get one out to you before Thanksgiving. We got a few days off next week, so I'm not going to be overloaded with anything. I'm going to find a nice meaty topic for us to jump on the horn and do some sort of podcast about, even if it isn't quite an official flight. We're going to get something out there. We owe that to the Flypaniacs out there. We all appreciate you very much. All right, well, I guess we're going to wrap up real quick. Quigs, where can people find you on the socials to give feedback?
Oh, wow. You can find me at Ryan Quigs with a Z.
How about that? Hey, it's Ryan Quigs with a Z. You can find me over at Flyperbole or at Esteban if it's for hockey purposes. Make it Flyperbole. I'm mainly on Blue Sky this days. I just can't deal with the old Twitter machine. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok as well. And be sure to check out all of our great works over on BroadStreetHockey.com. Quigley has plugged his Michkov article, so go check that out. I've got a couple things cooking right now. I don't know exactly what it's going to be. I was sick as a dog last week, so I haven't had a lot of time to think. So how about that? But, hey, check out all our great podcast offerings. And I think that's all there is. All right, folks. Thank you so much for listening. And citizens, until next time, in the words of the great Gene Hart, good night and good hockey. Wow, 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 wow.